Hi, Ferdinand the Carpet Stacker here with the review for the Bermuda Crisis Discovery Dawning, a Jarrod G. Warr game design. It's for 2 to 4 players that plays in 30 to 50 minutes and is recommended for ages 14 and up. The Bermuda Crisis is essentially a point race game of resource collecting, hidden objectives, and building special powers. There are 3 ways a player can win: collecting 14 victory points by fulfilling catalyst cards, or earning powers and effects by building your camps. Another is by completing the 3-piece Brindhorn scroll, which can be found in 3 decks. If the marker reaches the end of the dawning track, then nature points from mystic cards are used in scoring. Players have some actions they can do on their turn. Most of these will be playing boosts and ambush cards, and trading resources to advance in your camps. At the end of the turn, they draw resources and the player passes their turn to the next player. Then time advances. Let's go into the 2 main ways to earn points. The first is building up and upgrading your base camp. You can think of this as a sort of technology tree. You begin by building on simple powers and later get better advantages through more powerful effects. Camps at the bottom are worth 1 victory point, and more advanced camps are worth 2 points each. There are 3 different camps: one for resources, one for mystic cards, and one for catalyst cards. Camps that focus on resources allow the player to gain advantages like getting more resource cards. Usually the player normally receives resources through drawing in either the common or the rare deck at the end of the turn. Players may randomly find artifacts that can be used as a wild resource, getting a free mystic card, and even deactivating a player's camp. Drawing an artifact will cause the Discovery Dawning track to move. Next camp are for mystic cards. Mystic cards have special effects that either disrupt your opponent's plan with playing ambush cards or help you with boost cards. Ventures are 2-faced cards that do various effects with one side good and one side bad if they get flipped. Normally, mystic cards can only be retrieved by trading a number of resource cards. Lastly, the catalyst cards are your secret objective cards. There are 2 objectives on each catalyst. If you have 7 or less victory points, you can fulfill the top half. If you have 8 or more, then you need to fulfill the bottom half, which is usually more difficult. After you fulfill a catalyst card, reveal it at any time and you earn a victory point. Then you immediately get a new one to work on. The last thing I like to mention is the Discovery Dawning track, which moves every time an artifact is drawn. This is the turn tracker of the game. The hourglass token follows the track after each player's turn. As long as there are stability tokens in the top half of the board, the hourglass token will loop around until there are no more stability tokens to fall. There will be some spaces that give players some extra cards. Once the hourglass token reaches the final space, the game is over and the player with the most nature points wins the game. Of course, if either the Brindhorn scroll has been assembled or a player reaches 14 victory points, it will also end the game. Presentation for Bermuda Crisis is really nice. The cards are nice quality with a linen finish, and I like the overall art style. While I like the graphic art, I think some of the picture art is a little bit weird to me. Also, the back of the mystic cards where it says you can buy with 3 resources is too tiny to read even for a reminder text. I do like there are multiple ways to victory. Personally, I like going for breaking the victory points threshold. The alternative of collecting nature points in this game is really cool because it feels different than working on victory points. The last alternative, which is assembling the Brindhorn scroll, is take it or leave it. If at least one person has a piece of it, they probably won't give it up. Base camps is also something I like. While you can try to complete all those spots to collect victory points and powers, you have to focus on at least one in order to succeed in the game. Although I didn't mention that there is a beginner's side and an advanced side to play with, I recommend the advanced side because there's a lot more options. And I do like games where there's a limited amount of turns, which makes every move count. You won't be able to complete all the base camps or rank up in a bunch of points, which means you have to plan out and stick to something in the game. Moving on to things that I didn't like in the game, one is getting random resources, which is something I don't like in general. The game itself addresses this with some of the base camp powers and mystic cards, but as for collecting them in order to get something you need is a little annoying. problem I found in the game is that there can be a player that has a catalyst runaway. When you score catalyst, you always get one immediately after you score one. And this is where the problem comes in, is that a player can get very lucky and have a streak of scoring multiple catalyst cards. Here are some other remarks I like to add in. While not a big deal, confrontations will happen in the game. They don't hurt a player too much, but they are mainly there to slow a player down. Trading can happen a few times. Players will hesitate to do trade because they know that's a card the player they are trading with needs in order to build a camp. And trading the Brightthorn Scroll can happen if a player is a bit desperate. And I do have to say that the Bermuda Crisis has a strange theme. It's not completely addressed in the rulebook or even on the box. The only way to find out that's actually going on in this game is the publisher's website and to read it there. I could say that even a strange theme that is found in a game like Bermuda Crisis can help along the game a little bit. But I do have to say, it kind of reminds me of the PC game Myst. With that said, the Bermuda Crisis Discovery Dawning gets a good rating. There are some aspects I like about the game, especially the base camps. But what didn't do it for me was the game's randomly dealt resource cards and a chance of a runaway leader. One more thing before you go, please click on that subscribe button so you can be up to date with the latest videos from me. I like to personally thank my Patreon supporters to help me fund this channel, and please consider supporting. Visit my Patreon page for more information. Don't forget to like and visit our Twitter and Facebook page. And remember to keep on stacking games.